Eyes closed, soft, tongue in the bottom of your mouth, jaw hanging loose. Remove all of the expression from your face. Sit with length in your spine. And find your breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. As we try to interrupt the thoughts, so we can hang out in that space between thinking. The brain responds to stimulation. So every time you feed it a thought, you're just keeping it going. You're keeping your foot on the gas. Constant thoughts, spinning, whirling, constantly thinking. We need to put on the brakes and create some space between the thoughts. And we're going to do that by focusing on the breath. So all your attention goes to the breath flowing in and out through the nose. In and out through the nose. And as you inhale in the mind's eye, you say to yourself, I am more than my thoughts. I am more than my thoughts. Now, as you inhale, notice where your breath begins. Feel it rising underneath the ribs, underneath the breastbone, and all the way to the collarbones before you exhale. So as you inhale, ribs, breastbone, collarbones. Connect to the breath as it touches the ribs, breastbone, collarbones, over and over. So on the inhalation in your mind's eye, you say ribs, breastbone, collarbones as you inhale. And in the mind's eye, as you exhale, you say, I am more than my thoughts. 5 more times. Then normal breathing. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. Keeping the mind focused on the breath. For the constant thoughts and chatter in your brain clouds your judgment. Today we're going to do an empowering practice. So you can reach deep into your soul for the strength and the perseverance you need. So you can take a break from the chatter in the brain. And I'd like to remind you that throughout the practice, there should be no pain and no competition. Slowly open your eyes. Sit with a length in the spine. And that was an 11-minute meditation. Change the cross on your legs, please. If you're seated, just so we can balance out the hips. If you're lying on your back, please feel free to stay there. Lift and lengthen the spine. And then inhale with straight arms. Take your arms out in front of you. And really reach your arms forward. As you reach your arms forward, then we have to try and squeeze the shoulder blades back. And can you bring your head to line up with the back of the buttocks? And then once you've got your head lined up with the back of the buttocks, once you've got your shoulder blades squeezing together, the side of your shoulder should be lined up with the side of your hip. And you should notice that your abdomen has to engage. Inhale, take your arms up as far as you can, and it doesn't have to be all the way, but can you straighten your arms? Take your arms wider if you need to, but look for the straightness and the integrity. Take your arms out to the side, widen your energy span. Palms of your hands are facing the ceiling. Your inner elbow is facing the ceiling. Press your inner elbow up. Pull your shoulders away from your ears, please. And now flex the wrist. Pressing the heels of the hands to the sides of the room. Opening your fingers and feeling those lovely sensations running through the wrist, the elbow, the armpit, the fingers. Maybe they're not fabulous. Maybe they're actually quite nauseating. Keep that sensation there as we send the blood flow through the arm line fascia, increasing vitality of those soft tissues. And release and bring your arms back down. If you're lying down on the floor, lift your bent knees up and drop your knees to the right hand side. If you're seated, take your left hand onto your thigh, put your right hand on the floor or push into your blankets and do a small twist. Look over the back shoulder. Keep that lovely alignment of the spine, please. And come back around to the center. Take your right hand onto your left leg. Back hand on the floor, push down, sit up and twist. If you're lying on the floor, take the knees to the other direction, please. Look over the back shoulder. Pull the navel in, sit tall. And release, come back to the center. We're going to start with a root chakra grounding pose in Upavista Konasana, wide-legged angle. So if you're lying down, please come up and join me. Take your blankets away. Sit down on your bum. And you're going to take your legs open wide. So you're going to take the right leg out. You're going to take the left leg out. I'm just going to stick mine underneath the chair. And you need to open the legs as wide as you comfortably can. But you also need to make sure that they're symmetrical. So I usually use the edge of my yoga mat as a lovely guide because I always have one hip that opens more than the other. So I have to make sure they're level. So work to your weaker side. And once you've got that wide open span, where do you feel you need to put your hands? Is it in front of you or is it behind you? What you need to feel is that you can lift out of your torso and not be rounded forward. So maybe that's with your hands behind you. Maybe that's going to help you lift. Wherever you are, I need you to press your thighs down into the floor. And I need your toes to face the ceiling, please. Kneecaps facing the ceiling. Now press the inner knees down. Press the inner groins down. We're going to try and root the pelvis, the pelvic bowl, the root chakra. We're going to try and root that to the earth. Anchoring our energies. Bringing a sense of steadfast. A sense of security, a sense of we're not alone. Whatever we're going through, we're not alone. Push out through the heels, draw the toes back. Root your pelvis, your inner thigh, your inner groin, root it to the earth. Make that connection through the pelvic bowl as you ground your root. Bring in a sense of security. It's fabulous for your confidence. Ground, ground, ground. And of course, anatomically, you're feeling a stretch in your inner legs. You might be feeling the pull down on the inner knee. That's where the adductors, the inner thighs end. So that's normal. This is all good stretching. But we know that yoga is more than just a stretch. That it works the different koshas of the body, the different layers. Peripheral layer is the muscles, but there's that organic layer as well. And then release, bringing yourself up. Super. Bring those legs together. Hips might feel a bit stiff. And let's get into the front of the hip with your blanket on your mat, please. You're going to kneel upon it and you're going to face your chair. As you kneel and face the chair, I'm going to get you to take your right leg forward, and it's just a proposal position. So a short stride. And the knee should be sitting over the ankle. And as you first go into this position, you're going to feel a little bit of the muscles working to stabilize you, which is fabulous. Now let's provide a sense of grounding. Press down into the right big toe. Feel how that secures the chain. Squeeze on your bottom. And now fix your posture, please. The arm bone should line up with the middle of your thigh. So your breastbone is always more prominent than your arm bone. So get this arm bone in line with the middle of the body, the middle of the thigh. Allow the breastbone to shine. Stretch your fingers down towards the floor as if somebody's pulling your hands down. Lean back slightly. Keep that sensation in that front foot. Grip the bottom. So you've got stability here now, as well as an active stretch in that hip flexor on that left thigh. Keep grounding that right big toe mound. And if you're comfortable, inhale, take your arms up above you. but those arms should be straight. It's going to intensify the length of pull through that left hip. So if it's too much, bring your hands back down. Remembering that in all poses, we're looking for an aha moment. And if all you're feeling is a sense of gripping and holding, then you've gone too far in the pose. Release that. And let's change over. Left leg goes forward. Proposal positions, quite high. Front knee stacked over your ankles. So team, if your leg's all the way out here, that's too long. Heel underneath the knee, please. Establish this connective chain by pressing down into the mound of the big toe. Your hips are facing your chair. Then you squeeze your bottom. As you squeeze your bottom, it kind of glides the hips slightly forward, which is fabulous. But the finishing section is what we're doing with our torso. So can you draw your shoulder blades towards each other, which will pull the arm bone back, and now stretch your fingers down to the floor as if somebody is pulling on your hands. Should give you a little stretch in the neck and shoulder area. Keep the grip on the bottom. Inhale, take the arms up, lengthening the anterior fascia line. You can lean back only if your bottom is gripped, and you're going to feel maybe an earthquake happening in your abdominal wall as that acts as a stabilizer. It's all good. This is stability and mobility, and that really is what the gift of yoga brings. It doesn't just make you flexible. It provides great stability. And release and take that down. Now we're going to make the stride a little bit longer. So we're going to go a lower variation of that lunge. So right leg is going to go forward, but I'm lengthening it out. And I'm going to bring the chair on the inside of the leg. So my stride is longer. Same foundation techniques. Press down into the right big toe mound. Your back hip is pressing towards the chair. And you're just going to move your hip forward and down towards the floor. And you're going to try and put your elbows on the chair. Now, please don't hunch and round the upper back. Please take your shoulders down the back body. You still have to press into that front mound, and you need to squeeze the right knee in towards the chair, please. Squeeze it in towards the chair. Lift your heart center. Your power is your heart center and the rootedness of your root chakra. We're bringing that root down low. We're lifting that heart up high. Squeeze that right knee towards the chair. Good. Now take your right hand onto your bottom and your lower back. You can adjust your hand on the chair however you feel comfortable. Lift your heart and just a slight turn, please, towards that right knee. Squeeze that right knee into the chair. And then push into that right heel as you untwist and bring yourself up. We'll change over. We store a lot of energy in the hips. When we close down the energy, we close down ourselves, we become overthinkers, we're very tight in the hips. So the more we can work and practice on opening and releasing the hips, it changes the organic level of your being. Press down into your left toe mound. Drop your hips towards the floor. You've got that longer stride. Elbows are on the chair. If you put your elbows on the chair and you find that you're rounding in the upper back, it's going to feel nicer on your posture if maybe you just have your hands on the chair. So we're always looking for options so that there's still integrity in the pose for us as individuals. Press into the mound of the big toe. Drop the right hip down. Watch that leg at the front. It's going to kind of try and roll out. So squeeze it in towards your chair. Lift your heart center. Feel that beautiful line. That line of stretch through your front hip, front thigh, front abdomen. And then take your left hand onto your bottom and just turn. It's just a slight rotation through the waist. Your back hip, your right hip might drop a little more. You can look over the back shoulder. And then press down into that front foot as you unturn and bring yourself up. Okay, my friends, time to come to standing and do a little bit of work. Clear your mat. Take your chair to the right hand side. Have your strap. I'm going to open your shoulders first. It's always best. It's not best, it's good to open your shoulders from a standing position because you'll have more connection to your posture. So find Tadasana, your mountain pose. Joining the feet, spreading the toes. Stand into your heels. Lift your knees, lift your thighs. Feel the energy draw up to your pelvis. Lengthen the abdominal wall. Take your strap and just pop it on your right shoulder. And then set your shoulders by drawing the shoulder blades towards each other. You don't have to overgrip. Extend your arms down the side of middle of your thigh. If your hands are forward on the front of your thigh, then you know that your shoulders are forward. Draw the shoulder blades towards each other so that your hands end up mid-thigh, and once again your breastbone is more prominent than your arm bones. Now, if you've just pushed your ribs out and arched your lower back, draw your front ribs in and lift your pelvic floor up to align that lower back. Keep the lift in the knees and the thighs. Now, inhale, lengthen your energy. Extend your energy up, making you open as you lift and lengthen. Arms straight, please. Align your head. Look straight ahead. Try not to tilt the neck. Squeeze the arms straight and then bring them all the way back down. Take an interlock and press your hands to me. Touch your thumbs. Press your hands out and squeeze your elbows towards each other. Then re-establish your posture. Lift the knees, lift the thighs, lift the pelvic floor. Keeping the arms straight, take your arms up. When you get the arms up, can you bring freedom to your neck? So you don't want to bunch your shoulders towards your ears. Can you pull that front rib in slightly so you're not overarching your lower back, please? Lift the knees, lift the thighs, squeeze the elbows in. And this in itself is empowering. Lifting and expanding the torso. Inhale, exhale, come down. Look at your hands and turn so you can see your palms again. And notice your interlock. One little finger is at the very bottom. And if you change the interlock, you'll switch the finger that's at the bottom. And then press your hands away. Touch your thumb, cross your pinkies. Go tight to the webbing. Want to work those hands tight to the webbing. If you've changed the interlock, you'll know because it kind of feels weird. Squeeze the elbows in. Lift your thighs, lift your abdomen, ribs in. Inhale, go up. Parsvatasana, interlock. Shoulders away from your ears. Working on shoulder mobility. Squeeze that in. Hold it where you are. Good. Nice and tall. Inhale. And as you exhale, come all the way down. Super. Now take your hands unlocked. Right arm goes up. Left arm goes out. Turn the left hand to face the back of the room. And now press, 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 press all the way back. So it's really important that you consciously reach back to open the front of that shoulder and then fold that arm. And you fold the arm wherever it goes without judgment. top hand comes down, and you will either find your fingertips or you'll fill the distance with the strap, but you want to be able to pull against something so you can support the pose. Then realign yourself. Head on the imaginary wall, thighs engaged, standing tall, chin parallel to the floor. This is Gomukhasana. It's a fabulous pose for your self-esteem. It's opening your heart chakra. Anatomically, yes, it's fantastic for the mobility and range of motion in your shoulders. We use this pose for depression as it helps to boost and lift morale. Because it's pretty hard to feel fed up when your chest is open and expanded in this way. Stay where you are. Heather, I think that you're unmuted. So I'm just going to have a little check. Yeah, you're unmuted. So I'm just going to mute you just so it doesn't keep flicking to your camera. Good. And then release. And take care with the bottom arm, please. Then take care with the top arm. Then bring the strap to the other side. Standing in that strong position, take your left arm up, please. Right arm out to the side. Now work the right arm, turn it back, press it all the way back, 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 and then fold. And then drop the top hand all the way down, joining fingertip to fingertip. Lift the knees, lift the thighs. If your fingers are not reaching, you use the strap. And then that top arm is going to try and go towards the ear. Head aligned on the imaginary wall. You're going to feel a good stretch at the front of that right shoulder. If you're in my Thursday morning workout class, you might be feeling a great stretch on that left tricep muscle. I know my triceps are sore. Keeping the belly pulled in, lift the thighs. Nice long hold here to bring that opening into the heart chakra, allowing time for the energy to rise so we can become empowered as we follow an empowering practice today, so we can get away from all that chatter in the brain. And then inhale, slowly release with that bottom arm. Now release with that top arm. Great. Take the strap away. We're going to make use of the chair on the right hand side. So I'm going to ask you to stand with your legs nice and wide. And you're going to take your right leg and you're going to turn it all the way out so that right leg faces the chair. The left toes are on an angle, and then what's important is that your body is forward as we're going to move into warrior. Press your feet down into the floor and pay attention to the outside edge of that left foot, please, and extend the arms like you mean it. Drop your shoulders down the back body and extend the arms. Inhale. Now, as you exhale, bend the right knee. And as you bend the right knee, you invite the knee to press back. So as the knee presses back, the hips drop down. And as you drop the hips, it's really important that you charge the outside edge of that left leg, left foot. And you feel the power and the energy of the pose. Keep your heart lifted. Right thigh, pressing back. Turn your head now and look at your middle fingernail. Being quiet and steadfast in the pose of the warrior. For we are all warriors. We have the inner strength and we have the inner power if we can just find stillness in the brain. Now, from this position, take your left hand onto your hip. You're going to reach your arm across an imaginary wall. You're going to put your hand on the chair. Keep your body facing me, please. Now step your left foot in, and as you step your left foot in, slide your right hand along the chair. You're going to work on straightening your right leg, lifting your left, and taking the left arm up. Good. Now pull up on that thigh. Leg is straight. My head's going to go off camera frame here. So keep pulling up that right leg straight and strong. Hips are facing out. This is Ardha Chandrasana. It's an empowering, wonderful pose. And then bend the knee, place the back foot, and bring yourself up. Stay where you are. We have to do the sequence again. Take the arms out wide, shoulders down the back body. Find the security of your feet. Pull your thighs up, inhale, exhale, bend the right knee. Drop down with an open heart, a lifted chest, the power that resides within you. Turn your head. Reach out for the chair, put the back hand on your hip, step on in. And then press into that right leg. Trying to straighten the right leg, trying to turn your hips to face forward. Top arm can go up. Ardha Chandrasana, half moon pose. Squeeze the top leg, squeeze the standing leg. Eventually your hips will face out, but wherever they are today, they are. Press into your hand in the chair. Lift, open, expand. Be empowered by the pose. Then bend the knee, place the back leg, bring yourself up. Turn your toes. Isn't that wonderful? You do it on the other side. Take the chair to your left. Virabhadrasana 2 into Ardha Chandrasana, warrior to half moon. Step legs wide. Left toes, they go 90 degrees out. The whole of the leg, it rotates in the hip socket. Fabulous for your hip mobility. Facing forward, press your feet down into the floor, pull your thighs up, build that stability in your lateral hips. Squeeze the muscles of the legs into the bones, extend the arms. Shoulders go down the back body and the heart center is high. Feet pressing firm, inhale. Exhale, bend the left knee. Invite that left knee to press back so it lines up with your second toe. You can see your big toe. Descend your hips. As you descend the hips, engage that back leg. Press that inner thigh away. Press into the outer edge of the back foot. Lift, turn the head. Look at the middle fingernail. And remind yourself how amazing you are. How strong and resilient we are. Now slide your body across an imaginary wall, put your right hand on your hip, reach for your chair. Step your back leg in, slide your hand across your chair, press down into that right leg and bring yourself up. Hopefully you get that right leg straight, and then eventually your hips are going to face out. Top arm can go up or it can stay on your hip. Straighten that left leg the best you can. Reach with the top arm. Find your stability. Yoga is meditation in motion. As you focus on the finer details of the pose, improving your stability, flexibility, and mobility. And then bend the knee, place the back foot, long leg, press into the heel, come on up. Second set. Left toes are still turned out, right toes are turned in. Inhale, exhale, find warrior. Virabhadrasana 2, warrior 2. Descend your hips at the center, being present in the now. Pressing the back thigh away, lifting your heart, stretching your arms. So we extend our energy outwards. We descend our hips to the earth to root chakra down. Lifting the heart, turn the head. Slide the body across the wall, place the hand, top hand on your hip. Step the back leg in. Walk yourself in. Press into your foot that's on the floor. Find that first and then slowly begin to straighten that left leg. Turning your hips and your chest out the best you can. Top arm is up. Feel the vitality of the pose. Ardha Chandrasana is excellent for circulation. It's an empowering pose, building stamina and stability. Something we all need right now. And then bend the knee, please. Place the back foot, bringing yourself all the way up. Fantastic. Okay, we're going down onto the floor now. We're going to make use of the chair and we're going to do an adapted shoulder stand. If you're not going to do shoulder stand with me, you're going to do legs up the wall. We're going to do shoulder stand with the use of our supports, our blankets, our supports. So what we're going to do is, and I'll give you options for the legs up the wall if you're not doing shoulder stand. Give me 2 thick towels folded, one on top of the other. And I'm just going to do a quick measurement for you as you bring your towels into place. So I can guide you pretty quick, I hope. Yeah, that's pretty good. That shouldn't get me there. Okay, so you want to have the edge of your towel about 6-8 inches away from the chair. And then you're going to lie down on top of the towels and you're going to have your legs on top of the chair. And if you're not going to do shoulder stand, you can do these preliminary ones. You can just do this with us, but not necessarily go up. But this is what I really need you to pay attention to. You must be in a position where the back of your head is on the floor. The shoulders are on the towels or the blankets. So that is so, so important. Shoulders are elevated on your blankets. The back of your head is on the floor. If you could find that position with me, that would be great. Your legs are upon the chairs. The reason your shoulders are on the blankets is so that we can honor the shape of the neck. So back of head on floor, shoulders on blankets. Got that? So far, so good. Legs upon the chair. Now, you are going to kind of push your heels into the chair. You're going to squeeze on your bottom. You're going to try and get your hips up. Now, as you get your hips up, you've got to squeeze on your hips and you've got to bring your hands underneath to just wrap around your waist. Easy peasy, I hope. Often just getting into it is the most difficult bit, but once you're there, it's not really that bad. So a couple of things. Your head is still on the floor, but your shoulders are on your towels. You've got your feet on the chair, you've lifted your hips up. Whatever you do with your feet, you can have them flat. My chair's a bit slippy, so I've kind of propped my toes up on the back of the chair, just so I don't slip. I'm squeezing my bottom, and I'm trying to get my pubic bone towards my nose, because I'm trying to create a straight line here in the spine. What's going to happen in the beginning is your hips are going to hang low, and that's okay. Now, I have to work on trying to press the back of my arms into the blankets, and maybe I can move my hands towards my mid-back. My breastbone is going to try and move towards my nose. Yes, there's a stretch in the back of the neck, but I'm not sliding my shoulders to my ears. I'm pressing the elbows down into the floor, wherever you are. Now you can stay there, or you could take one leg up towards the ceiling. Why are we doing this? This is Savangasana, shoulder stand, and it's really good for your nervous system, flushing out the brain, empowering the heart, fabulous for your thyroid. Keep squeezing your bottom, lift your hips. If you've got one leg up, change over. This is a supported Savangasana because we're using the chair. I don't want any pain or discomfort in your head. Try not to turn your head around. Press the back of your arms, the back of your shoulders down. Squeeze your bottom towards your nose. And then release. Feet on the chair. Slowly lower your bottom to the ground. And now we have to change position. So now I have to get you to slide along the blanket, along your mat, until you get your bottom on top of the blankets. Feet come off the chair. We go into Baddha Konasana. And now my head and my shoulders are flat on the floor. And the arms go out to the side. If you were doing legs up the wall, then you would come into this position as well now. Soles of the feet together. Baddha Konasana. Empowering practice. Shoulder stand is so empowering. Taking all that weight off the legs and all that rest it brings to the heart. And then from here, bring the knees up, roll to the side, come on up. So far, so good. And coming off these supports. Now, I'm going to get you into a chest opener. And this is where I need the 3 towels. So I want to try and get some kind of height so that we really get the height of the heart chakra to complement the theme of the empowering practice. So I'm going to take 2 big, large towels or blankets, whatever you've got. I'm going to take 2 of them together. So I'm going to hold them both together like so. And I'm going to roll them up together. So make a big fat sausage roll. So now I've got a nice big fat sausage roll. A little bit more than we normally use if you've been with me before. And this big fat sausage roll is going across the yoga mat. I need enough room for the head and the shoulders. Then the 3rd towel, I'm just going to fold that so that's quite thick. And that's going to go about 8 inches away from the sausage roll. Okay. Then your position is the sausage roll is going on the bra strap, on the shoulder blades. Shoulder blades, but not shoulders, so not the top of your shoulders. The top of my shoulders they're going to hang out in the space between the two blankets. You've got to look at the position of your head. You've got more height now under your heart chakra. So if your head team, if it looks like this, I need you to put a little bit more height underneath your head. It's really important that the head is in neutral. The arms go out to the side, but don't scrunch them up towards your ears. Freedom in the neck. Heart chakra elevation. Shoulders hanging back. Palms facing up. If you find that there's too much arching in the lower back, you can always have a folded towel underneath your bottom. Relax your jaw and your throat. Relax your eyes. And let the pose work its magic. As your heart chakra is higher than the brain, helping to subdue that chatter in the head, helping to create some space in between the thoughts. Heart center is high to empower you with the strength and energy you need, but also creating stillness so the answers can come to you. So you know what you need to do. Two more breaths. And then bending your knees. Roll to the right hand side to come off that support. It's normal that you might feel a little bit of stiffness in the shoulder blade area as you come up. And now it's time for Shavasana. In Shavasana today, I'm going to put the legs up on the chair. I'm going to have a blanket on my chair just because it's metal and it's cold. Then I suggest a blanket for your foot to go underneath your head. You can always cover you with the third one. And you're just going to lie down on your back. You're going to have your legs up on the chair, the back of the knees close to the chair, please. Back of the head supported. Cover yourself if necessary. Making yourself comfortable. Palms of the hands facing up. Closing the eyes. Feel the sensations in the spine. As you get that paraspinal release, back of the buttocks heavy on the floor. Shoulders heavy on the floor. As you invite the body to realign and let go. Inviting the shoulders to go heavy. As you exhale, ask the shoulders to sink down. And as you exhale, ask the spine to release. Feeling all of the support underneath you. Feeling that strong, stable floor. As your root chakra is grounded. And your energy is empowered. And our brains are quiet. Take 5 more breaths. Heavy in the shoulders. Heavy in the arms. Letting go. And now, as it's time to end, notice how you feel. Gently moving the fingertips and the toes. Hug the knees in towards your chest. And roll to the right hand side. And then push on your hands and bring yourself up. And sit however you feel comfortable for the final pose. Join the palms of your hands together and find a connection to your heart center with your fingers turned out. Lift your heart center so you can listen to it. And bow your head so you can surrender the busy brain and surrender the ego. As your thumb sits on the heart center, you make a promise to honor you, your love, your light, your wisdom. And as you spread your fingers to the world, you make a promise to share and honor the love, the light, and the wisdom of others. Namaste. Lift your head, open your eyes, place your hand. Thanks so much, everybody. Hope you enjoyed your practice today. Hope you feel empowered. Lots of great heart opening, which also becomes therapeutic for the neck as well. So I hope you feel good in that upper body. And I hope you have a magnificent day wherever it takes you.